Hello, 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 all my beasties and loves. How are we? How are we doing today? So, today is going to be the much less nice, much less professional. Please ignore the strange noises or random dog things happening right here. The puppy has decided he is broken and is hanging upside down off my lap and chewing on my arm. So, I don't know. He is being special. Muffin can attest that in many pictures he feels the need to be upside down on my couch. So I don't know. I broke him apparently. But tonight we're going to do the much. Hi, Nigel. We're going to do. If you'd like to come up and say hi, you may come up and say hi, but please stop trying to eat my shirt. Hello, Deborah Dyer. Muffin. Yay. Yes, Bat Dog. Muffin, thank you so much. Nigel, Raven, Muffin. Muffin, we all love you. Mayor, stop trying to eat my hand, sir. Richard, Tug Simp. Okay, I think I got everybody for right now. Would you like to see everybody or not? Sir, hey, Johnny. Sir. Up. Come here. If you want up, come up. Hold on, guys. There. Say hi. Hey, Tex. No, you're not going to say hi anymore. You don't like the camera today? Okay, go lay down then. So tonight, hey, Tex, this is going to be the much less nice, much less polite, hey, Cool Frog, coverage from last night. To address the one stupid comment I got, I did get one really stupid comment from somebody, and that was, why are you not wearing makeup? Why are you wearing a hoodie and a baseball cap? Hey, and it was because this is not about, I look like it's not about me being dressed up. This is about Muffin's child, the other victims, and naming and shaming this freak. So we're going to make up free name and shame in our pajamas because I don't care. Hi, Danny's World. So the one rude person, hey, Bandit, that's what you cared about? Bye. So we're going to be much less polite. Hey, Bandit. Tonight we may have a guest, guys. We may have a guest coming. We have to see if our guest can make it. Let's all get it together for Muffin here. So I think first and foremost, as much as I really don't like, hey, Tugson, as I really don't like giving this disgusting, I can't even call him a human thing, airtime, I have to. So this right here, guys, is Daniel Stacy, the absolute sack of crap person that offended against children. This disgusting thing. Okay? Him. It. Him's rude. I'm just going to call it it. Creep. Yes. So we're going to name and shame. And we're going to look at some of the court documents. We are going to discuss how absolutely unjust this whole thing was, right? And how this is ridiculous. I also want to thank everybody who has sent me so many messages about this. They have all gone in the file that is being sent to the state bar for Debbie for the award. I've been contacted by a couple other professional licensing and groups that this was sent to by viewers about the possibility of recognizing Debbie. So keep sharing last night's video. Keep sharing it, guys, please, because Debbie deserves credit for so much of this. And Muffin Rando deserves all of our love, support, and hugs. Okay? There will be a couple things I do zoom through. That is because they would dox the minors. or they have something specifically salacious that I don't think needs to be public, okay? But other than that, I am naming and shaming, and I am going to make fun of every single person that I can. So there's going to be no polite Loki. This is the Loki blue screen rage you all like to amuse yourself with when I get angry. So let's get angry, right? Let's start. We might as well. We might as well we might as well start the name and shame. Deborah Dyer. Thank you so very much for being such a sweet and supportive person. We need more people like you in the world. And to everybody that has been so sweet and supporting to Muffin, please keep it up. I will tell you guys everything that was donated membership finances wise last night is going to be going to Muffin's son from us at the channel. So I didn't monetize it. I'm not keeping anything off of this. It's all going to Muffin's son. So he can like do something fun for a day. So let's get obnoxious because this POS deserves it. Let's go. Oh my Lord, this idiot. I can't. I need to like channel myself. Let me make sure that we are readable because my screens are not. Okay, we're kind of readable. As good as I can do on here. This sack of crap. A former Nevis school bus driver and former Hubbard County Commissioner. That's an elected position. These people elected this moron. Has been convicted of 4 felonies in connection with sexual conduct involving 2 different minors. In a plea deal because, hey, let's make a deal. Not. 59-year-old Daniel Joseph Stacy of Akeley pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a victim under 16 and 2 counts of soliciting a child to engage in sexual conduct. According to court documents, for pleading guilty to 4 felonies, the state agreed to drop 7 other felonies. Stacy was elected, again, woohoo, really, as a Hubbard County Commissioner in 2012 and began serving in 2013 until he resigned February 1st, 2023. He is also a former DARE officer and a Boy Scout troop leader. I'm going to need everybody to sit with us for a minute. 10 years. He was your elected county commissioner. What? Sir, 10 years. Really? This is insane. Deborah Dyer, me too. And you're going to see me lose my ever-loving mind. I don't know how long you've been on my channel. Everybody will tell you I lose my shit. I cannot hide anything. And if I think it, I say it. People elected this man for 10 years. And it's going to get worse when we read the his argument for why he's a good person. He shouldn't be sentenced. He should not have to be in a lot of trouble. That's mean. Hey, Iris. Because he's victim. Oh, for the love of God. Go play in traffic, sir. All I have to say to you, sir, is please go play in traffic. The world will be better off for it. Okay? That's what I'm going to need you to do. So, let's read more about this sack of crap. Northern Minnesota official also drove a school bus charged with child sexual misconduct. I mean, like, if you want to call this misconduct, that's not misconduct. So, a former Northern Minnesota County Commissioner and school bus driver has been charged with criminal sexual misconduct involving a child. Yeah, he was elected for 10 years. What in the name of God Daniel J. Stacy, 59 of Akeley, was taken into custody Sunday. A retired law enforcement officer. Sir. He made his first court appearance Tuesday in Hubbard County District Court. He was released on $500,000 bail and faces an omnibus hearing May 9th. You're a law enforcement officer. You give all of us a bad... No. Sir, no. Stacy faces 1 felony second-degree count of criminal sexual conduct with the victim under 14 and 1 felony count of distributing via electronic communication material that relates or describes sexual conduct to a child, better known as CASM. So not only are you possessing it, you're distributing it. Oh, for the love of God. It gets worse. And not in the like fun law talk with Mike way. This gets worse. And my blood pressure, temper, and alcohol need is gonna go up. Mayor Wrench, it is not called a 9mm. It is called Loki's very pretty 50 caliber, either my Barrett or my Macmillan. You take a choice if you'd like American Justice or Canadian. And 9mm is nice. According to court records, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension began an investigation after a boy reported on November 3rd that his Nevis public school bus driver, Stacy, would arrange to spend 3 to 4 hours with the victim outside of school. Stacy would allegedly deactivate the camera on the school bus. I have so much to say. According to the statement of probable cause, Stacy took the victim to his Akeley property, encouraging the boy to talk about sex, drugs, and watch movies. The boy reported he resisted an attempt by Stacy to touch him in an inappropriate manner. Stacy instructed the victim not to tell anybody the incident and rehearsed with him what to say. Law enforcement executed a search warrant of his property a week later. Law enforcement obtained Google account information for Stacy and noted gaps in his history. They observed Stacy visited pages about deleting data from a Google account on November 10th, the day of the search. Funny. The statement of probable cause concludes this investigation revealed Stacy engaged in grooming behavior with the victim and the victim's family. Stacy began working for the Nevis School District in 2005 and held a number of positions, including substitute bus driver, substitute teacher, even better. Muffin, we'll get there. Ugh. And I'm going to feel dirty reading that. And transportation coordinator. He was placed on paid administrative leave on November 24th. He resigned February 28th. Sir, why? Why are we paying? No. According to court records, he reported his iPhone lost or stolen on November 4th. So that's really funny. Like the day you're put on administrative leave, your iPhone magically, mystically disappears. Sir, no. A Hubbard County commissioner since 2013. Yeah, because we elected him for 10 years. He submitted his resignation January 30th. Why? Why did we wait that long? Any additional victims should contact the Hubbard County Sheriff's Office. Judges themselves. Okay. First, Erica, I see you. Raven, hi. Muffin, trust me, I'm gonna feel real dirty in a minute. And guys, the heroine that we all needed, but didn't know we had her. The beautiful, the wonderful.
Seriously.
Self.
You're too sweet. I really dressed up for you, so I got my game earrings on.
Yay. The beautiful, the wonderful Debbie Davis. So Debbie, he was elected commissioner for 10 years.
That is, the whole thing is very wild to me.
Oh, he was also a teacher, substitute. I learned that today.
Police officer, Boy Scout.
Yeah, dare officer, Boy Scout leader. Yeah, I know we talked about that. Yeah. Wait till you hear the one mitigation thing. You're gonna lose it. because I could not. I told you I could not with this man. No, just no. And then I love that this was like one of my favorite lines. And Debbie, I would like to know how you would respond to this. So magically,
See, wrong button.
that's okay.
Oh,
Magically on November 4th, the day they put him on paid leave, his iPhone got stolen. Sir.
Oh, I had heard that. What did I do? What did I do?
We Debbie's here. She'll be back. The beautiful Debbie's back.
I have issues with
It's okay.
Geez.
The beautiful Debbie's here. We all are here to look at the beautiful Debbie.
No, no.
How did you lose?
I'm on like a shortcut thing. Why is this doing this to me?
I don't know. You'll find it. Oh, there you are.
I was trying to
get it. Lose your phone.
What?
Like, how do you lose your phone the day you're put on leave?
Oh,
it walked away.
No, his phone probably was full of evidence. Things
they didn't take it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I tell my law enforcement people is the phones are tough because in cases like this, not only can they give us evidence of other crimes, but the corroborating evidence that we need to show locations of where someone was at a certain time. Phones are a minefield for us, but you don't even
have to look at it. Just like secure it at least. Get a warrant later.
Get a warrant. Yeah, that's.
And here's the other funny thing, and having been law enforcement for years and worked in public safety, I'm especially appalled that magically on November 10th, the day they executed the search warrant, several hours before that execution, he Googled how to delete your Google data, and then there were now gaps. So whatever officer told him there was a search coming, sir, you can go play in traffic with him, okay? We can go play in traffic. Frogger, it was a game in like the 80s and 90s. Go play it in real life for me.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I hate it. I don't get why people do that. It's like, what do you think is going to be gained in a positive thing for tipping somebody off?
And my argument always was because unfortunately, you end up there's good and bad in every profession. And there were plenty of officers. I was like, look, you're getting rid of the bad one. It's not like you're ratting out your best friend who's doing nothing wrong. We need to weed out the bad apples. We don't need to let them corrupt everybody else. Right. So let's not.
And it's definitely this type of crime too is more than just like, oh, somebody said he stole something from them. Still not great. But this is very different.
This is very different. So let's look at some amusing things, Debbie. I think you're going to find these really interesting from a legal perspective, because I was floored by some of these arguments. I was like, sir, what are we? No, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read.
So as disclaimer, I did not see any of this.
Debbie has never seen this.
Yeah. So the only thing that I got was just the dad's thoughts, statements, and I read the news articles. That's how I kind of put together what I call the victim impact statement.
And other disclaimer, Debbie never contacted the judge. She went through the proper channel, the court coordinator. She emailed them and said, can I have Zoom access? Okay, we're clearing it up. It was misstated, but it's all good. Totally fine. But we are disclaiming this.
It's just like a nuance. It's like, oh, I don't want to make it so like I called the judge and like.
I'm not. And I know, and that's why I am.
I know you didn't mean it that way at all. I just want to make
sure. Muffin. Yeah, I know the way it came out, but totally no. So fine. I am making sure it is publicly disclaimed to everybody. And I want everybody to know these documents that I'm going to pull up tonight, none of us saw at the time. This was only unsealed after he was found guilty, because until then there's minors involved, so they seal things. So let's see. Where's the really good one?
I'm impressed that they have these for public viewing.
You what?
In Michigan, I don't have a way that I know of for these documents in Michigan to be like received by the public unless you do a FOIA or something like that.
Oh, I get them in Michigan all the time without a FOIA.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you how later.
Yeah. Be good to have
Yeah.
some of them. I mean, I can get some of them from like the federal courts and things. They have some stuff that's available.
Yeah, like on Pacer.
Mm-hmm.
But so let's look at this one. This is the idiot's petition to enter his plea. Oh, yay.
Oh, of course, I'm on my phone, so you're going to have to like read this.
I'm going to read it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you. I'm reading for everybody. I just said yay because ew. State of Minnesota plaintiff versus Danny Joseph Stacy. Debbie, who the hell names their adult Danny?
I mean, I can't blame him for that, right? Yeah.
I can. I'd change my name when I became an adult if my parents named me something stupid. Just saying. I mean, it's better than some of the names now. I, Danny Joseph Stacy, defendant in the above entitled action, do respectfully represent and state as follows, blah, blah, blah. I went to college. All of the...
Why is this part of a plea? Like,
let's see.
That's...
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's look at this one first. This one first will be easier. Here you go. This is the complaint and summons, okay? The complaint submits this complaint to the court and states there's probable cause. Count 1, charge, attempted criminal sexual conduct, second degree, contact, between the ages of 14 and 16. Actor greater than 36 months older and in a position of authority. Maximum sentence, 12.5 years.
So attempted felonies in Michigan are 1/2 of the penalty of the completed act. So when you said it was an attempted CSC second, and it's a 12.5 year max, it makes me wonder if like it was charged that way and he didn't it, or
wait till you hear all the charges and how undercharged this is. Because this is all the charges before they tell you what he pled and didn't. This has all of them on it.
Gotcha.
Count 2, exactly the same thing, but on another date.
Are these all related to?
This is one victim.
One victim, okay.
Count 3, same degree, same offense. Count 4, same offense. Here we go. Count 5, criminal sexual predatory conduct. Maximum sentence, 25% longer than the underlying predatory crime.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then, or 50% longer than the underlying predatory crime if there's a previous sex conviction. Charge description: between April 1st, November 30th, 2022 in the county of Hubbard, Minnesota, Danny Joseph Stacy did commit a predatory crime that was motivated by sexual impulses or was part of a predatory pattern of behavior that had criminal sexual conduct as its goal. Count
pretty specific as to what he did from what I understand, so that charge is appropriate.
Count 6, soliciting a child to engage in sexual conduct. Between April 1st, November 30th in Hubbard County, Danny Joseph Stacy solicited a child or someone be personally reasonably believed as a child to engage in sexual conduct. Count 7, soliciting a child to engage in sexual conduct with a prohibited act. Count 8, the same. Count 9, the same. Statement of probable cause. On April 27, 2023, Senior Special Agent DB was contacted by the parent of Victim 1, a student within the Nevis public school system, who disclosed being sexually assaulted by Dan Stacy. Victim 1 described being 13 to 14 years old during the incident. Stacy is more than 36 months older than Victim 1. Victim 1 advised Stacy would pay them to help with odd jobs like cleaning out his garage. Victim 1 described that this began in the spring of 2022. Stacy was also a bus driver at Victim 1's school. Stacy's residence is in Hubbard County. Debbie, anything before I continue?
Just in general, it would surprise me if these victims were the first and only. And I think it was mentioned that there were others that maybe have come forward.
5 others they have never charged him with.
Well, and I don't know. From what was said at the sentencing of his like reasoning or excuses for doing this, it it would
Oh,
surprise me if there weren't things years prior, but
oh,
that's
oh, wait until you see what his lawyer wrote about why he shouldn't have to go to jail.
oh goody.
Oh, it's special. He's a special someone, because I have questions. Victim one reported that things started to get weird on their third trip to the Stacy residence and that Stacy asked them if they watched pornography. Victim one indicated Stacy would make comments such as, "Daddy's got you," when they made a mistake. Victim one indicated Stacy would frequently send him messages via Snapchat. Sorry, alcohol.
Oh, I have to say, Snapchat is definitely one of those danger zones for kids.
Oh, yeah.
My first trial that brought Snapchat into it was a child sexually abusive material, and it was shocking to me learning from like the Michigan State Police computer crimes people what can be done, and they call it an amnesic app
Yep.
because make things disappear. But I will say, Snapchat has been really good about subpoenas and producing evidence and doing their own checks. Actually, that particular case was started because Snapchat, whatever their filters are, saw something that was not right, and they contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, and then NCMEC gets the information from them, sends it to the state police in whatever jurisdiction it is. State police then narrows it down to what IP address and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. So Snapchat does, like, not surprising that he used an amnesic app like that.
Right, because it deletes things after a certain period of time. It's not really there. And you have to get a warrant to be able to get those pictures. Snapchat does keep them for a period of time. But by the time you get that warrant, I mean, you of all people know warrants for phones and social
Yeah.
media can be hard. I can tell you, I used to end up as bait a lot because I'm almost 6 feet tall and fairly thin and I wear a baseball cap and stuff. I can pass as a teenage boy from a distance. So when they would have these cases where they didn't want to send an actual child for the meat, I got to be the bait a lot of the time, and a good chunk of them involved Snapchat, which is always fun. But you know, hey, this is where this just goes off the rails. Victim reported on their fourth visit to the Stacy residence, Stacy would refer to watching pornography as homework, and that watching it was good for victim one. Stacy directed victim one to specific websites for pornography, such as Redacted It All. Thank you, I'm not reading that. Stacy tried to entice victim one into watching it with him in late May. Victim one declined. Around the sixth time victim one was at the Stacy residence in June, Dan Stacy offered the victim alcohol. Victim one went with him to Stacy to RV World to look at motorhomes. Stacy offered victim one alcohol from the glove compartment on the way there. Victim one declined. Victim one described things escalating after Stacy purchased a motorhome with him. Victim one reported whenever they went into the motorhome, Stacy would close the blinds, lock the door. He described there was a back bedroom in the motorhome where Stacy would take them. Stacy would ask victim one to do inappropriate things. Yeah, I'm not going to that. We're not reading that. Victim indicated this happened every time they went to the residence, at least 11 times. Right, great. We are not reading some of this. And that Stacy touched the person's inner thigh. When victim one would direct his hand away, Stacy would try the "come on, trust me." And then victim indicated Stacy would then pay them more on days where he could get victim one to give him a massage. Victim one described that Stacy told them not to say anything about the visits and that victim's one phone had to be off during encounters. Stacy described it as their little secret. Victim one reported that Stacy or victim one ever anyone. Stacy told victim one to just say they were if Debbie, how is that not an aggravating charge to this?
I'm sorry, it was cutting out, so I was trying to see what part you were reading.
Sure, I'll reread that one for you.
There are so many aggravating factors in this case.
Stacy threatened to cut off their genitals if he told anybody.
That's an aggravating factor, and this person this isn't just a opportunistic thing, and that's what I pointed out in the victim impact statement. Is he created these opportunities?
He bought a goddamn RV with the person,
right? Like, and I mean, I don't blame his wife or children at all, but for him to purchase
100% Wendy
and put it on the property and use it in the manner that he was, like, he purposefully and intentionally set himself up to have these opportunities.
Debbie, I know you're on a phone, so you can't see it, but Wendy, I said we all love Debbie Davis so much.
Aw, thank you. Sweet.
So, yeah. So we have all of that. Yeah. Then we have, victim one went with Stacy to the Hibbing area and stayed in a hotel with him. At one point. So we took him out of the county. Awesome. Victim one reported Stacy sent them messages asking if they've done their homework in reference to watching certain videos and to come over to Daddy's house in reference to coming over to his residence. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of icky.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of icky. And then victim one was explicitly told that they were not allowed to screenshot things and that they would do things.
Well, and I mean, that's the other thing with Snapchat too, is if you screenshot something, it notifies the other side. So, the victims aren't going to risk that, especially if you know that he knows.
Here's better. I know everybody thinks this is a discussion of Muffin Rando's child. It is not. Stacy is charged in Hubbard County file, different number with one count with the same counts for the other victim. That isn't Muffin's child. I just read you the document for another child. Oh my God. On top of it, someone said anonymous dad commented there wasn't a lot of publicity. Debbie, last night in my chat, I had 4 different people that said, my kids go to school in that school district. He was their bus driver. And I never heard about any of this.
I mean, how is this not a letter home to the kids that ride the bus to say, hey, parents, you might want to.
How are parents in the district unaware?
Yeah.
How are the people that you were the county commissioner for 10 years as an elected county commissioner not aware in a small county?
Yeah. So I guess I don't know that area very well, but I do know, like, in my small town area, the newspaper is not as widely distributed anymore. Everything is online. People just look to social media for their news. And it really surprises me that this didn't get spread.
There's like 3 articles. That's it. Everything else was removed. Somebody ran enough interference that there was nothing on social media. There's very little online. But this is absolute insanity to me. So is this the one? Okay. So I'm not going to pull this one up because it's got information, but I am going to read. So he was convicted on criminal sexual conduct 2nd degree and distributing via electronic communication material that relates to or describes sexual conduct to a child. But we dropped 9 charges. 9. And that was in the one case. And then we dropped 7 in the other.
Now, I will say that strategically as a prosecutor, as much as you would want to charge 100 different counts because they did it 100 different times, with the sentencing scoring and guidelines the way that they are, typically 3 to 4 counts is like where your max out point is for points. Okay. But it depends on what level of felony it is and whether it's a max life or a max 20 year or, a max 10 or 15 year. You've got to be careful with what you're charging and then dismissing, because it can really affect the final outcome. And obviously, his attorney did a good job in negotiating this, because it was to the point where the scoring guidelines were so low that he could have genuinely gotten just probation, and there would be no appeal for it because it would be within the advisory guidelines. And that's a shame when you hear all of the details of what he's alleged to have done. And again, what he's alleged to have done, there wasn't a trial. There wasn't, something where there was a fact finder that listened to testimony. So his attorney's best argument is he's getting sentenced on what he pled to. So whatever he said in his plea that he admitted to doing, those are the things that he's getting sentenced on, unless a prosecutor, a victim advocate, a victim's family steps in and says, hey, judge, you need to know that these other things were alleged too, and we believe them to be true. Now, he can say, no, it's not. I never threatened to cut off their genitals, whatever. But the judge can decide whether or not to take it into account. It's not like a beyond a reasonable doubt standard as you would in trial. So it's important that the prosecutor helps the families advocate and explain to the judge what really went on.
You mean unlike in this case where they told them to be happy with probation?
Yeah.
And did not argue.
Yeah. Prosecutors have to make tough decisions, no doubt about it. But there's a way that you can do that without disregarding what the victim's family is feeling and what their thoughts are. The way that this went down, in my understanding, is that basically they were not given any input, and it was just like
they
this
were not
to be. And again, do you have a German Shepherd?
He's behind me. No, so that's Boba Fett. He is a Norwegian elk hound.
Oh, he looks like, well, Chief. My German Shepherd is in his crate next to me because he was a little wild when we got home from the game. Yes. So
this is my 6-month-old Norwegian elk hound, Boba Fett.
Well, he's very cute. So anyway, sorry, squirrel.
Oh no, you're good. Keep going. No, explain.
So with prosecution, the Victims' Rights Act, you're supposed to confer with the victim's family and explain to them what's going on. At the end of the day, it's the prosecutor's call as to what plea offer to make or what to accept. But unless there's a very pressing reason that I'm in disagreement with the victim's family, they're never going to wonder why. I'm going to explain myself fully, and they may still not agree with me, but I'm going to at least have that conversation with them, even if it's something they don't want to hear, so that they understand why I'm making the decision that I'm making. And I don't think that the families were even given that
Nope.
in this case.
Okay, so this is where I really want your reaction, Debbie, okay? Deborah Dyer, you do not need to apologize for saying too much. You may all say whatever you want. I have told you the only thing that is not acceptable in my chat is anybody denigrating Muffin, his child, or the other victims. Otherwise, y'all have at it. There's no professionalism going on tonight. I kept it nice. I kept it professional because last night's video was seen. And guys, for those of you who did send emails, thank you. I love you. You're all amazing. All you bar registered members that sent ones, complete with your bar numbers to attach. Thank you. And Debbie, I didn't get to tell you I was reached out to by several other professional organizations that have opportunities to recognize people because they were sent last night's video.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, this was
none of this.
None of them.
No. I know, but I'm going to say this now, Debbie. The reason Boba Fett, get down. The reason that you were nominated for all of this is because you did all of this with zero expectation of anything. This was not selfish. It wasn't to advance your career. It was for no reason other than you are an amazing human being. And we were going to wipe false allegations from obnoxious people off the internet with all of the accolades and all of the amazing, so everybody sees you for the person you are, and that you deserve recognition for, even during your campaign, going above and beyond and being an amazing human, and what every prosecutor or anyone that wants to be a prosecutor should strive to be like, and what communities should demand of their elected prosecutor, not what Muffin Rando got stuck with. So I know you didn't do it for that reason,
really
but that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, you guys are, that was not the call I was expecting from you today. So it still, I don't think has like really sunk in, like, but it just seemed like this is the right thing to do, right? Like,
right.
Just how can you not? In reading his email and seeing there's all these bits and pieces of, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. And I know how to craft it into a way that is going to make sense and put it in the order. And it was hard. I mean, at one point, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing this. So
I know, and that's why I didn't make it public till now.
Like my kids are like trying to do something, like, you guys, I have to get this done. Like you guys, I can't tell you what it is, but I gotta have like 15 more minutes to finish this. And they're like, oh, huff, like, because they're kids, right? They don't know that. I try to shield them from as much of my ugly side of work as I can. And I just, yeah, things have been super stressful with the campaign and, work stuff. And so it was honestly refreshing to be able to feel like I'm doing something that I know is going to have a positive effect. And so I guess selfishly, I did it to make myself feel good and like, hey, I can do this. And I was really thankful the court clerk responded, because it was such a last minute thing. Like, I'm trying to like timeline wise for us, like
we only had 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, and then it's
I told everyone you were like taking time out of a wedding weekend to get stuff done with me.
Yeah. But, so I definitely was down to the wire on it. And then it occurred to me that some courts let you, as attorneys and sometimes parties, watch remotely, but you just, keep your camera off, you keep your sound off. And I thought, what's the worst that can happen, right? Like, if I just like try to find the court clerk. And so then, yeah, the good thing for the interwebs, I could just Google things and found the court website, and they had the little submission, like, ask a question. I'm like, I have no idea if this is going to get to the right person in the right amount of time. I want to say that was either the day before or 2 days before the sentencing hearing. And like the next day they emailed and like, well, we have to clear it with the judge. And I mean, I didn't ask for any favors. I just said, look, I'm in Michigan. I cannot possibly physically be present for this person. But I assisted them with their victim statement. And, if I could see what goes on, it's easier for me to explain than to them what happened after the hearing. So.
And I can tell you that Muffin said they did tell him you were present via Zoom once he was there, and that you were the reason he made it through his statement, knowing that he had you there to watch and support.
That's so sweet. I didn't know I was going to read it. So that's the other thing, is like victims. So the victim themselves, whether it's a child or an adult, can speak, or you can have somebody speak on your behalf, or you can.
They did not tell him that.
Yeah. So, or you can write something, or you can have the victim advocate read it for you. Like anything that you write or your child writes, the victim advocate can go read it on the record, or you can not have it read publicly, but have it copies given to the defense counsel, the prosecutor, and the judge to take into account. And sometimes with these super sensitive cases, that's not uncommon. People don't want to relive it by saying it in open court, even if there's not many people there that day or whatever. It's just something they don't want to verbalize. And some people are better with written than verbalizing, and vice versa. So it's really designed to make sure that the victim has the ability to give whatever input they're most comfortable giving.
I know you can't see this, but Carrie T said more people need to be like you, Debbie. The world would be a much better place. And Deborah Dyer said, you're so selfless. You're doing God's work. Thank you. So I know you can't read them. And I'm sure you went and looked at some of the things last night and got to see all the comments about you.
I did. It was really sweet.
Did your husband think I was crazy?
No. Like, I was just like, okay, so this is gonna sound a little different, but he's like, oh,
but Stephanie called me and.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't really knowing what to expect when you called.
Okay, so this is what I want your opinion on. Okay. This was the motion for dispositional departure filed by this idiot. Now, I said this several times last night, and so maybe you can help me reconcile some of this.
Okay.
I'm going to say this before, and then you can help me reconcile it after, because you and I talked, and I said I'd be the world's worst attorney because I'd be like, oh, hell no, and get yelled at.
Well, here, let me. Do you want me
but here's the thing. I get everyone deserves a defense, right? And a zealous representation. Okay. When I read this to you, please tell me that how you, even as a defending your client, could put such absolute crap down with like having a conscience, because I need to know.
This ought to be really good. So again, this is not something that Muffin or anybody was given. I did not see this.
Nobody has seen this, and Debbie hasn't even heard it till now, guys.
No, this is
this is fresh, and this is why.
Well, let me give you like kind of an overview of sentencing and why they do these motions, if that makes sense.
Sure.
It's like specific to Michigan, but it sounds like a lot of it is kind of similar. So when there's a felony sentencing, whether it's from a plea or it's from you get convicted at trial, they do a pre-sentence investigation where they do an entire background of the person, their medical history, their educational history, their family history, all the things, right? And it's a private document. So that document is created by the Department of Corrections, like probation officer. That document is what they were referring to at the beginning of the sentencing. Oh yeah, like I feel like, oh, everybody saw the sentencing. No, I was like, me and Muffin and the family, so they want to stop. But okay, so at the beginning of the sentencing, the court asks if there's any changes, corrections, additions, deletions to that PSI, because the PSI, pre-sentence investigation, goes with the defendant for the rest of their time. So if they're incarcerated at the Department of Corrections, this PSI is going to be looked at by the parole board at some point. So you want to make sure that everything is accurate. If you're a defense attorney, you try to keep things out of it that are maybe inflammatory. Like if he says, I never threatened to cut off their genitals, then the judge would have to like make a determination whether or not there's enough to say that, well, the victim said that this was said. You know, of course, this guy's going to deny it, but if the judge goes in favor of the kids, then it goes into the PSI and vice versa. So once the PSI is done and they do all the scoring points for your offense variable, which is like what you're charged with, was there a weapon involved? Were there threats involved? How many times did it happen? What type of CSC type thing happened? All of those things add up to points. And then you also have your prior record variable points, which are if you've ever been convicted of something. So Muffin mentioned, again, I know this is like a lot of info in one like short time, but
no, it's all good.
He did a really good job like absorbing it, because when he said it back, I was like, yeah, like if you hadn't gotten in trouble before, your PRV when you're looking at your grid is a 0. But because if you have a subsequent or concurrent conviction, so 2 cases, 2 different people, which Muffin's child was the second case, if you get convicted in the first case, you get points on the scoring for your second case. So instead of being like 0 points on both of the cases, there was points on the second case, so that it upped the sentencing range. So in Michigan, you serve your entire minimum. So whatever the judge says, 6 years or whatever, you're serving those 6 years. Then you're eligible for parole. It sounds like in Minnesota, though, it's like you serve 2/3 of that 6 years and then are eligible for parole. So if that's the case, yeah, that's unfortunate. I like that Michigan has truth in sentencing, where we just, hey, judge says you're serving it, you're serving it.
I'll be there at those. I'm going to those hearings with Muffin. Like,
yeah.
try me. Debbie and I are going drinking and going.
Yeah, so we could do that. So this memorandum then. So that brings.
Yeah, but hold on. But I got to read this to you first. Someone said, "Hey, dropping in here to see what's up with Debbie Davis. I greatly admire her and how she's handled herself this year. She's excellent and can't take office soon enough."
Very sweet.
And someone said, "When I'm about to give up hope on humanity, people like her come along and restore my faith."
Aww. So
here we go.
Well, hold on. One last thing.
Okay.
To wrap up, the reason why defense attorneys file these is because the judge can't go below the advisory guideline range or above it, okay, without having substantial and compelling reasons on the record to justify it. So prosecutors sometimes file these go up and defense go down, and then the
wait till you hear this. This like I know that
the reasons why,
but come up with a better reason to justify it. Like what this person used. Like I'm gonna need you to think of a better excuse for what you used other than this.
Oh, good. Okay, so here we go.
Yep.
Judge, please don't follow the guidelines. Go below and give me probation only because.
Not even.
Okay.
Motion detected at the doorbell.
That's right. The Minnesota sentencing guidelines. Okay, well, you don't need to. Whatever. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's just going over the departure thing we just said.
Yep.
In determining whether Mr. Stacy is amenable to probation, the court should consider the following factors: his age, prior record, determination of remorse, level of cooperation, attitude in court, and support. Okay, great, cool. Go off. The court should grant Mr. Stacy a dispositional departure to probation only because he is particularly amenable to treatment and probation. Mr. Stacy respectfully moves this court for a downward dispositional departure based upon his particular amenability to treatment and probation. Mr. Stacy presents several substantial and compelling circumstances to justify a downward departure. Each characteristic or factor should be considered and demonstrates he's particularly suitable for individualized treatment in probationary settings. Amenability to treatment. That they've held that whatever you need treatment, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. In February, he complied and completed with
treatment. He wants treatment. Okay,
good. Yeah. He complied with and completed his psychological and psychosexual evaluation with this doctor. Upon Dr. Marston's recommendation, Mr. Stacy began participating in a sex offender treatment program. Here's the progress review. He's engaged in group sessions from the start. Mr. Stacy's been open and talkative, readily sharing his experiences and challenges. His active participation and insightful contribution have not only aided his growth, but they positively impact the group dynamics. Oh my God, you're an idiot.
Okay, can we pause for a second on that?
Sure.
The thing that bothers me about this, and I was a defense attorney for many years, okay? Like I had cases where I sent clients to get these type of evaluations, but they are self-reporting, right? So anything that is said by this person leading the group, I don't know what Mr. Stacy told his group. It could have been very watered down. It could have been something completely different than what he's accused of doing. So it's really hard for me to use this to justify anything if I don't know exactly what he said. Are there recordings of what he said? Are there, something?
Oh, we've got more.
Oh, good. Okay.
The doctor said, while he describes himself as an adult heterosexual male, he appears to be attracted to underage males in a way that reflects his teenage history of enjoying mutual masturbation with males. This is a complex problem that needs treatment. No, sir, that sounds like you're not sure what your sexuality is. That does not sound like a complex treatment. That sounds like you're not sure if you're straight or not.
And he is in his 60s. I don't remember.
Yeah.
He looked older. I don't
He's
know his
60.
birthday. Okay.
He's 60.
So he has had this problem since his teens. So we're talking like 40 plus years, 45 years. That's a long time.
I'm sorry, you're having a discussion that mutual masturbation. Sorry, that just sounds like you're not straight. You're not sure about it. That does not sound like my guy. That just tells
Yeah.
me you're not sure what your orientation is. Like, why is
Person detected at the doorbell.
like why? But okay, go off. In Mr. Stacy's case, it appears he's particularly amenable to probation and treatment, provided Mr. Stacy successfully completes his sex offender treatment program. Ready, Debbie? His already below average risk to the community will only decrease. This appears to make a prison sentence unnecessary from a public safety standpoint.
Okay, so if you are a below average risk, that would mean that you aren't doing things to people in your community, right? Like
Multiple peoples, but you're a below average risk to the community already.
no, you are a risk to the community. I mean, you could say maybe he's a low average risk to reoffend, but even then, I would say, how can you say that if he hasn't completed treatment? There's multiple victims over a long period of time, and he's got 40 plus years of sexual confusion or deviant behavior, whatever. Again, this is all self-reporting.
I just want to know how you said before treatment he's a below average risk and prison's unnecessary because his risk goes down even more with treatment. How are you a below average risk if you've done this to multiple people, sir?
Yeah.
I have questions. Like,
And what
how?
I mean, what is successfully completing something? Because again, you it's self-reporting. Like, yes, I learned my lesson and I'm not going to do it again. And these are the triggers or these are things. Like, he literally put himself in situations with his triggers, like as a Boy Scout leader, as a bus driver, like as a substitute teacher at the church,
Police officer,
bringing kids to your home, like literally created his triggers and risk factors. Like,
I just want to know where that he was already a below average risk.
Yeah.
Sir, did you get your medical degree from like wish.com or something? Like, I need to know where.
Like, I don't, anytime that as a prosecutor, I'm looking at some sort of report like this, I want to know who this person is. Have they testified before? Are they a hired gun? Because defense attorneys often will hire whoever will write the report that their defendant needs. So it's hard to tell.
I would also like to point out, so when you write the word weather, I know you can't really see it.
No,
we use the wrong weather.
I zoomed in on there. Proofreading and
Sir,
editing.
that's the wrong.
High school was like one of my things. That sort of thing grinds me.
Sir, that's the wrong weather. We're not asking what it is outside. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna need you to. But okay, gotcha on there. Apart from a few minor speeding tickets, he has no prior criminal history. Yeah, we don't know why either. But go off.
Because he wasn't convicted, he wasn't caught. People didn't tell on him. He picks his victims who are less likely to tell. So not a great argument.
Okay, so Debbie, are you ready to hear what he's remorseful for?
Oh, goody.
He expresses deep regret and remorse as a result of his conduct. He understands he had a profound impact his actions had on the victims, but more so how well his behavior impacted those closest to him. He has regret and remorse for his actions and the impact. He wants to do better for himself and his family around them. He is sorry he caused his family embarrassment, pain, and suffering. And he is sorry that it's going to have an impact on his family.
I can appreciate that he is sad about the impact on his family, but the bigger impact is on the victims and their families.
But
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, this is all about us.
barely mentioned.
No, this is all about us. But my family. And then I cannot with these people. Like, I would have thrown something. I would have gotten in trouble for
I'm sorry, can you
throwing
roll back
something.
up for a second? I thought I just saw something that a little further. So he has shown respect, attentiveness, and timeliness for every court appearance. That is a very bare minimum. Like showing up and paying attention and respecting the process.
Right. And
Would
while you
you
were
rate
on
that valid?
bond, you went to the Bahamas without permission.
Yeah. Harper. Okay. All right. Sorry. My daughter crawled in here and snuck up on Chief when he was
It's all
sleeping
good.
great. And he's like, "What are you doing?" Okay. Are you taking him out? Okay. Hi. You're fine, buddy. He's
It's like mine, but I went upstairs
Like-
because
like,
someone
like,
came home. It's like, oh, I go
crawling
upstairs.
in my bedroom. Like, what are you doing? Oh, hi. Oh, Chief. Hi. There he is. I'm gonna go. Oh, not gonna. Hi, buddy.
Oh, we get to see him?
Yeah, Chief.
Go.
Oh, Chiefy, come here. Who's your good baby? Oh, you're a good baby. He's kind of.
He looks like Bubba and he could be related.
Yes, I know. So I was like, is that a shepherd?
Yeah, no, he's an elk hound.
He is
But
very-
the hallmark is they look like a Spitz breed. They all look like shepherds until you see the big floof curled tail.
Aw, I mean, shepherds are like the new it dog or something. It's like ever since I got one, I see them everywhere. And I mean, my daughter really wants a shepherd, and I'm like, oh, sure, why not? I didn't realize how much work. I mean, I always had pound puppies, like just
Elkies
dogs.
are, and that's the like luck. Elkies kind of look like a shepherd and act like a shepherd, but they're much more easygoing and laid back.
Oh,
Like
Good
he doesn't care. He doesn't really bark
oh,
ever.
well,
He doesn't really care.
yeah,
He very rarely barks.
cares a lot, cares so much.
Yeah, I like this one. He's not amenable to prison. Yeah, no
Oh.
shit, Sherlock.
Are there
Nobody
people
is.
that are? Yeah, is anybody amenable to prison? Like, no, I do really good in prison. Look, I
But I
watched
mean, like,
New Black. I don't think that I would do good in prison.
every time I see someone like, and it's really like the sob sits, they're like, I do not consent to be arrested. No shit, Sherlock. That's why we have handcuffs.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody consents to this.
No.
Like, I need to, sir. Like, I love that. They're like, I don't want to go. No shit. Nobody does. If it was like, who wants to be there? No
I
one.
used to have to say that to my defendants that I was representing. Like, look, nobody's like, yay, I get to go to jail or prison. It's not
No.
pleasant. It's a punishment. It's a deterrent. Let's just, it's how long you're going. You should probably be more concerned about.
So-
You should go there, not just how long.
This is my fun, and this I did make fun of last night, and I'm going to make fun of it again. Both the authors of the psychosexual evaluation and the Butler report expressed similar concerns related to his serious physical health issues. They noted Mr. Stacy suffers from several physical health issues that require near and long-term surgery on his knees and hips, and ongoing medical treatments that may at times warrant serious or urgent medical attention, like a DVT, and careful consideration about future placement. In addition to the high cost and difficulty of treating his medical issues in prison, many of his conditions limit his mobility and therefore his ability to defend himself if needed. This appears to make him particularly unamenable to the prison environment. Okay, so sir, you're worried that you're going to be victimized because you're older and weaker. So what about the kids that you victimize? Like, I just need to know why it matters when you're scared of people that are bigger and stronger, but it's cool for you to prey on little kids. One of the children, not Muffins, the other one is physically disabled on top of it. So you not only went after two 14-year-olds, but one of them is disabled. And now you're worried that somebody's going to beat you up?
Well, and I think that people get like the idea that prisons are like these like raucous gang, like everybody's in the same rooms. Like it depends on what facility you're in. It depends on what level of detention facility it is, and there's certainly places that he can be in solitary if is he worried about having roommates.
You know what the funny thing is? When I read that last night, somebody commented, I bet you Debbie Davis knows where there's a room for him without a roommate. And everybody died in the chat. Because we're going to put that on a shirt for you.
Free lodging. Just free
She
lodging.
knows where there's free lodging for you.
I mean, they do charge for it. I'm not sure how much they really collect, but
we can find you lodging.
Yeah.
But sir, your risk of a deep vein thrombosis and like your knee and hip issues. I'm just gonna throw this out there, and it's not a secret on my channel, so this is not about me. But sir, I take a blood thinner too because I've had several blood clots in lungs and things. Okay, you pop one once a day. It's not a big deal. That's not real expensive. I take Pradaxa, the good one. It's like $20 a month. Okay, I think the prison can handle that. They handle people with things that are a lot worse. Oh yeah, and 2, you have knee and hip pain. I have cancer and can still go to prison. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, your knee and hip pain. Like no part of that says you can't go to prison.
Well, and I think the prison lifestyle is more sedentary than
It is. He should be
going
fine.
to the Bahamas and walking that sand. You know, if you're trying to walk through that, it can be a little like.
Or have it, that piece of property, having to walk all the way out to your RV and then drive the bus and climb the stairs. I mean, shit, you don't even have stairs.
Yeah, exactly. They probably have elevators that they can, if you needed to go.
I'm sure they could even give you a wheelchair if needed, okay?
Yeah, I probably could. It's like,
you literally were like, I'm at risk for DVT. I shouldn't be able to go to... Sir, it's called Pradaxa or a blood thinner. It's a pill.
And I mean, what else do you have to do in prison? Like exercise or something, like, right?
Like, I just... That's your medical reason.
It's not a boot camp. They're not forcing the labor on him. Like, you could...
Like, I don't understand. That's a serious medical thing. Yeah. And then, wait. A probation is just punishment for him. Wait. I love this. Because this went solely in the face of something that was in the statement, and every single person clocked it. And I know you're going to clock it. And Debbie, when you think it, please just interject. Sending him to prison in no way benefits his victim or society.
Wrong.
I believe the last line of yours was, we can take his triggers and his population away. It's called jail.
Yeah. Last time I checked, prison doesn't have minors in it.
So yeah. But it's in no way him going to prison, no way benefits society or the victims. He already lost everything important to him due to his involvement in the case. His wife of 29 years divorced him and his children won't speak to him.
I mean, honestly, his wife probably would have divorced him many, many years prior had she known what he was into. So,
yeah, if I were your kids, I wouldn't talk to you either. His family is irrevocably split. Furthermore, apart from the impact of his actions on the community, he is a productive member of society. A probationary sentence is just punishment and allows him to obtain treatment and contribute to society in a meaningful way. No. Mr. Stacy is in no way a danger to the public or anyone in his life. He has lost everything that made life worth living. Outside of his offense, he has lived his life in a way that demonstrates he's amenable to probation. Sir.
Outside of him molesting children?
That's why I said I wanted your opinion. Like how I get you've got to be a zealous advocate. How can you write that bullshit? Like, I'm sorry, I could not.
So
I couldn't be like, oh no, he's not a danger to anybody.
All right. There's different standards, right, for prosecutors and defense attorneys. Defense attorneys are expected to be zealous advocates for their client. All right. They can, hi, Chief, just help yourself. Come on right up here. They can stretch the truth. They can make assumptions and say things. Prosecutors can't do that. We have to be zealous advocates for justice, not for our client, whether our client is a victim or our client is considered society. We don't have clients. Our client is justice. And so when the defense attorneys put this stuff in writing, it's I get what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying. How?
But you also have to weigh the credibility that if you
Because that's
put
a
that
good
in
officer of the
writing,
court.
right? And I wouldn't want to put my neck out there for somebody that has done a crime such as this, that has pled to said crime. So it's not like they didn't do it. So no, that's
Yeah,
and
because
it's
that's my thing. I'm like, you said that with your whole chest. You put it in writing that he's not a danger to anybody.
and how bad would you feel if he got probation and then he offended against somebody else? Like, I wouldn't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, I was just like, you said that with your whole chest, sir. Don't fall off the couch, dog.
The chief is just sitting on the other side of my.
The past week, my dog has fallen off the couch like at least 3 times a day because he's forgotten that he's gotten big. He's now like 30. He's 6 months old, but he was 13 pounds when I got him 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
So he'll try to roll over on the couch and like end up on the floor, and then he looks at everybody like,
What did you do to me?
yeah. He also has this obsession with chasing his tail, and then he gets it and bites it, and then he looks at me like he's mad. I'm like, you did it. I don't know what to tell you, sir.
Oh, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he's derpy some days. But yeah, no. So Debbie, I thought you'd like that because I didn't get to see that. But when
a lot, that
you're not a danger.
Yeah, not a danger. Yeah.
I have questions. Like I would just see, this is why I couldn't be you, because I'd be up there like, sir.
Well, it's like, okay, so it's a very subjective, like, who is a danger, who isn't a danger, and that's the ultimate question, right? That's why I look at the factors, like what I pointed out in this one is multiple victims over a period of time, putting himself in the situation where he has access to victims and the ability to carry out his deviant behavior. This is far different from somebody that recognizes, like, I've got some issues and I should probably not be a Boy Scout leader. I should probably not be a bus driver. I should probably not invite children over to my home and
I
buy an
probably shouldn't buy RVs. I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be a substitute teacher.
Right.
I probably shouldn't claim that you shouldn't sentence me to things because I can be a productive member of society, because I'm not sure what you really were like productive other than using your job at the school district to groom victims and take victims. Like I'm not seeing where you were productive in any positive way, sir.
Well, and the fact that he used the victim's extended family members through the church to sow doubt into what the victim was saying makes me particularly ill.
And I will say, what else makes me particularly ill, and these are things that I was told I was allowed to share. The other child is in a mental institution. He's in a psychiatric facility at this point. Because this man went to church, and not only with Muffin's family, but with the other child's family, he convinced people in the community that their kids were lying, even though he pled guilty and even though he was on camera, and told them to go after the kids.
Yeah,
to the point, and then had people in the community go after the other child's mother.
But he's remorseful deeply,
and he's a productive member of society, and they just need him back out there because his jail is big and scary, and I'm not sure.
And
I was like, what are y'all thinking? Like, please.
Just, this is a reminder, right, that there are more than one side to every story. Like Judge Middleton, the truth is somewhere in the middle. His side, the other side, truth is somewhere in the middle. I try to warn people that you really shouldn't pick sides on something unless you have some particular personal knowledge. And even then, the experts will say kids don't typically fabricate child sexual abuse. Nobody wants to be a victim of that. Nobody wants to have that notoriety. And if a child says something to you in confidence because you're their trusted adult, whether you're their Sunday school teacher or you're their school teacher or you're their friend's parent or they're your own child. If they say something like that, you've got to take it seriously. And sometimes there's misconceptions or they misinterpreted something, but that's a very rare case.
And I also point out that, so I do OSHA and all of that. I do corporate safety now. And I can tell you in my externship, I worked with a bus garage for a while, like a school bus, because you have to do a bunch of externships for OSHA and stuff. Those cameras on the buses and the GPS track and the clocks, they go to you, and the dash cams. We get them every day. They download automatically at midnight. They download to the server in the system. It automatically flags in the system when you turn your camera off and when you're off your route. The fact that I'm not going to read it, they did put up some of the court transcripts. His bus, the cameras and everything would go offline for an hour. And the bus run would be an hour late. Why somebody didn't say, why are you turning the surveillance off, and why are you an hour late to returning the bus, bothers me, because we get a flag. Like I'm sure you do with like with people with the ankle monitors. When you have them on electronic monitoring, anytime they break it, you get a flag report the next day when the system updates. So
yeah. So I like, as prosecutors, we don't get that, but our community corrections,
but someone parole does or whatever.
So they can tell like immediately upon a battery dying on it. People aren't plugging them in. They're offline for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Or they have certain perimeters that are set up around victims' homes, victims' work, victims' school. And if they travel near that or into it, it sends an immediate alert. So yeah, the fact that the school, isn't that a concern if like your bus is an hour late sometimes and the security camera's turned off and there's still a kid that was on the bus? Like, if you see something, say something, right?
Right. I get an alert if you hit the brakes too hard, it sets off a dash cam and I get an alert. If you're going more than 5 miles over the speed limit, I get an alert.
So some of the newer police cruisers, like
they all do it. It's the dash cam system.
Yeah. On as soon as they hit a certain speed, and like, oh, you guys better not be speeding because it's gonna catch you.
Ironically, I cannot tell you how many hysterical things I was caught saying or doing by dash cams when they were triggered, driving lights and sirens. Because if you want to hear road rage, me at 3 o'clock in the morning, driving 104 miles an hour on like the turnpike, going to a call that's 35 minutes away for stupid.
Yeah. So I'm glad I'm not mic'd up all day long. Like that would be not great. Swear a little bit here and there. Not in court.
A little bit. I'm worse. Like I said, everyone says like I have like the closed captioning on. Because when I was rolling my eyes at something, they were like, you and Debbie are like, because I'm always like, they're like, you and Debbie are like the twins, but I'm like, because I get told to fix my face.
Yeah.
And I apparently I do the same like that you do for face, because people like to
tell me more.
Please tell me why you drag raced a forklift. Please tell me.
That's impressive.
I have videos of people drag racing forklifts that I'd be like, please explain more.
Oh,
thanks.
Those OSHA people are just so picky.
You would laugh, but it's the stupid. I really think that us OSHA people have been doomed because we have stopped Darwin. Like I think the world hates us because I have stopped Darwin. Because like I had an employee on a scissor lift filming a TikTok while driving the scissor lift with it elevated, because like TikTok, gotta do it for the gram, for the TikTok. But the thing is, so like he's facing this way, but they move this way and the controls are like over here.
Oh gosh.
And he decapitated himself because he hit an I-beam while filming a TikTok, drunk on a scissor lift. I also got a phone call from a prosecutor and a police officer who had my employee DUI on a forklift driving down the highway. And they're like, what do you want us to do? And I'm like,
DUI on any motorized vehicle, vessel, scooter.
Right, but they were like, can you please come move this forklift because we don't have anybody that can tow it.
Oh, good Lord. So, can I get a courtesy, convoy? So I'll watch you drive back.
No, none of them were certified to drive. It was like great. Like my man drove it to the beer store to pick up beer. DUI on a forklift. I'm like, who watched him leave the building on the forklift and didn't stop this? Like,
like maybe they didn't like him. Like, this is what's gonna get him fired. This is it. We've been waiting for him to get fired. This
actually, you know what, Debbie? I would have paid money for that DUI case to be in front of you as the prosecutor and in front of Middleton, because I just want to hear like the Middleton excuse story that he knows that forklift and that beer.
What he would want to know, like, what kind of beer were you getting? Was it an ice? Was it Steel Reserve?
Miller Lite.
Oh, that's weak. He would be like, that's one of the lower alcohol content. Like, if you're getting a Milwaukee's Best Ice Beast, you got problems. Very high alcohol content. Any ice beers.
But like, we're DUI on a forklift. Great. That's just awesome. Like, I just want to see you as the prosecutor have to get up there and be like,
no, I would, yeah.
Drunk on a forklift.
Drunk on a forklift. We've had people drunk on lawnmowers. Lot of lawnmowers.
The forklift was like the best. That I've had one on a scissor lift, and every time the cop tried to get him off the scissor lift, he lifted up in the air, and then he would like bring. It's been all over.
Some videos of
and he would bring him down, and then the cop would be like, "Get down here!" Nope, and he'd go right back up in the air. And then they called me, and I'm like, "You can disable the controls at the bottom and crank it down. It's fine."
Listen, I wouldn't have known that. Okay, we all have our specialties, and that is not my specialty. So.
No, but it's just funny when you have the video of it, and you have this officer like on his body cam arguing with someone on a scissor lift on the side of the road, drunk.
Yeah, I should go back and look at that because I'm certain that I watched that video at one point in the last couple years. So.
Yeah, but thank you so much for being here. This was fun. Aww. And thank you for everything you did, Debbie. And we love you, and we thank you.
You guys are.
We know you did this like for no recognition, but that's why you deserve all the recognition. And you know, everybody that's left comments and seen it, we all owe you everything.
Oh, you do that.
And we do. Honestly,
like, I would hope that most people would do the same. Like, I don't know. I always say,
Debbie,
like,
you're a rare
do the
breed.
best you can with what you have where you're at, right? Like, and if somebody in the universe puts me in contact with somebody that needs help and I've got the ability to do it, I'm going to do it. So I had never met you before, but you knew Mike. Mike knew me. So then you knew me, and then Muffin knew you. So then Muffin knew me.
Yeah, that's why I said everybody's there for a reason.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, getting a hold of Mike when he's not on vacation is always fun.
I know, right? Like, if we're trusting Mike to be the intermediary between people.
You know what? Next time I'm in Chicago, the three of us can go out and we'll make Mike be the adult.
Yes. No, actually, he would probably try to have us drink Malort or whatever that stuff.
I'm not drinking Malort. I drink whiskey, but no, we're not drinking Malort. But you know, give hugs to the kids. Thank you for all that help. I will talk to you later, and we all owe you, Debbie. And
you're very sweet. And
we can't wait to see you back on TV. We cannot wait. No one can wait.
Well, I mean, you just never know, right? Could be any day.
You'll be back. Yes. And if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. And like I said, everybody in the chat has been sending much love, and the hundreds of views and emails that have been sent, many by your fellow bar members.
That is really heartwarming, honestly. Like, lawyers are a tough group. we've had a really great group of attorneys in general in our area. They're very supportive of each other. But I know that in the profession, there's a lot of jockeying for position and whatever. But it's really sweet that
I will tell you, I have gotten 2 letters from Canadian barred attorneys
so
to
sweet.
support you. So you have
Well,
gotten support internationally, nationwide, and like I said, 70 some people that are Michigan barred.
That is
So
wild. Like, not the things that have happened in my life in the past 4 years, not in a million years would I have ever thought that these things were going to
because
happen.
everybody needs a hero like you, Debbie.
Oh, well, I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I feel. Some girl from a town of 1,200 people and only 60,000 people in our county. And,
I'm coming to visit. I'm driving up to Michigan. You're
yes,
not far from
you
me.
should come visit. I mean, you got to come see Pouncer, the newest goat. He gets
Oh, I
out.
have to come see the new goat.
Yeah, he's the last minute impulse buy at the fair. The kids fell in love with him, and he's a weather spelled WETHER.
Right. I mean, like, unlike, yeah, in that thing.
Yeah,
over
not like the
there.
WHETH or WEATH.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a sweet little useless weather that just runs around.
Did you name him Mikey Jr.? Like Mikey the Third?
No, the kid that I bought him from is like the sweetest little 4-H kid, and he named him Pouncer. And I was like, did he pounce a lot when he was younger? He's like, yeah, okay. And he's a very active little fella. He's a La Mancha cross, so I don't know if you know much about goats, but like La Manchas have the tiniest ear. It looks like somebody cut their ears off. And I'm like, why'd you cut their ears off? Like, no, that's how they're born. There's like little tiny itty bitty ears. So
Yeah, ironically, one of the last, so the fire company that I'm a life member because I spent the most time working there, in Eastern PA has one of the last true country fairs, and they have all the 4-H judging, all the farm stuff. So Goshen County Fair every year.
Oh, Goshen County. That's so funny. We have a Goshen, Indiana that's very close to us, but it's Elkhart County. And they have a great fair as well. So
Next summer, I'll take you to the Goshen County one in PA.
We're going to do the fair circuit.
Let's do it.
I can't make any promises for next summer because I feel like I'm going to have some work to get caught up
We'll
on.
help you. I'll come help.
Yeah. About that, idea of you going to law school and getting licensed. Like,
I will come help you any day. I can paralegal for you now. So.
Oh, look at you go. So.
But thank you again, Debbie.
Thank you.
We all love you, and everybody in the chat is saying thank you to you. So.
All right. Well, hey, I'll have to go back and scroll through everything, and you guys know where to find me. Yay!
Everybody, we put everything up so everyone goes to Debbie Davis Said, and everybody blow it up because.
Oh golly! Well,
here's your new prosecutor.
Well,
the wonderful Debbie Davis.
Yeah, I'll always be Debbie Davis. So yeah, but
you'll always be Debbie Davis Said. We love it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, take care. Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. And to all my beasties, thank you for being here. Everybody, Debbie Davis Said, everybody go check her out. And see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.